The film begins with a perplexed housewife named Anna, who's having a hard time picking a wine from the wine cellar. She ends up grabbing a random bottle and heading back upstairs to celebrate her husband, Malcolm, who's been honored by the mayor for being the best child psychologist. The poor couple's moment is ruined when a patient of Malcolm breaks into their home and shoots Malcolm and himself. Nothing says happy anniversary like a surprise visit from a homicidal ex-patient.
Just give me a chance.
Scenes cut to the next fall in which Malcolm is stalking his new patient, Cole, who suffers from anxiety. He approaches Cole in the church and lures him into his van with candy, just kidding. He acts cool and tries to converse with Cole, but Cole drops Latin in response like he's about to summon the Pope. Malcolm returns home to his sleeping wife and searches for the meaning of the Latin phrase. The phrase translates to, "Out of the depths, I cry to you, Lord." This kid straight up needs exorcism and not psychotherapy. The next day, Cole gets ready for school. His mother, Lynn, leaves him in the kitchen to fetch a better tie for him. When she returns, the entire kitchen's cabinets and drawers are opened mysteriously. She freaks out but plays it cool because Cole starts sensing fear in her. He soon heads to school, and when he returns, he finds Malcolm in their lounge, not getting acknowledged by Lynn. Cole refuses to have a word with him, so Malcolm plays the cool doctor and convinces him to play a guessing game. If he guesses right, Cole is to step towards him, and if he guesses wrong, Cole has the free will to walk out. Now Malcolm's guesses are so off, you'd think he was reading horoscopes written by ChatGPT. Henceforth, Cole walks away, just like your ex who you still can't move on from. Later, Malcolm shows up late to a date with Anna, so he starts giving justifications about how he would prefer treating creepy kids over spending time with her. Just kidding, he loves his bland wife. The next day, he approaches Cole on the street again because he's too broke to get a workplace. If you don't want to be traumatized, don't look up how Cole looks now. Cole finally confesses that he's afraid that if he opens up to him or his mom, they will render him crazy. Malcolm discourages him from thinking that and spends more time with him at his home. He talks to Cole about a free association writing exercise, where one is provided with a pen and paper to express whatever comes to their mind. Cole breaks it to him that he's done that before, and it didn't end well, as he wrote nasty things. Malcolm returns home to do some research on Cole's case in his basement. He hears a man's voice from above, who's consoling Anna.
Did you see enough of me at the store?
Yeah, I'm on my way out to the flea market in the Amish country, and I thought maybe you want to come along and show me how to buy it, one of these things.
Scenes switch to Cole, who freaks his teacher out by exposing his early habit of stuttering. The teacher goes from zero to unhinged faster than a Karen in a Starbucks with the wrong name on her cup and starts calling Cole a freak. Later, Malcolm finally sees Cole in his office like a regular psychologist. After his session, he puts on his wedding tape and reminisces about old times instead of giving Anna some real company. Their marriage becomes shallow soon, and he discovers antidepressants on their room's shelf, hinting that Anna is silently battling with her own demons. Sometime later, Lynn hosts Cole's birthday party at her place and invites all of his classmates. Cole's bullies lock him in the room above the staircase. When Lynn finds out about this, she rushes upstairs and tries to unlock the door, but it jams just like you when it comes to talking to a thick baddie. The door opens on its own, and Cole is found unconscious. Lynn takes him to the hospital to get him checked out, but gets pushed under the bus when the doctor accuses her of beating and abusing Cole after discovering bruises and scratches on his body. Soon, Malcolm pays him a visit in his room. The kid finally reveals that he can see the dead people. Malcolm thinks he sees them in his dream. Classic therapist behavior to undermine their patients. Cole tells him that he sees them walking among people in real life. Malcolm should get a priest for Cole's exorcism, as therapy sure as hell isn't going to fix this. Cole tears up with fear and begs Malcolm to sit by his side until he falls asleep. Once he sleeps, Malcolm records on his device that he's Mr. Know-It-All, who thinks Cole has visual hallucinations for which he must be institutionalized. Later, Lynn brings Cole home in his sleep and tears up after inspecting the bruises on his body. She thinks his bullies hit him and calls their parents. Later that night, Cole wakes up to take a leak, where the ghosts don't respect his bathroom privacy. Casper's cousins need boundaries. The ghost of a dead woman leads him to the kitchen, where she opens all the cabinets while shouting about her terrible husband. Cole hides in his sanctuary, a tent where he's displayed toy figurines of all the worshipping idols that are known to mankind. The next day, Malcolm shows up at his school to see his play. He has some alone time after the play, during which Cole sees 3 dead bodies hanged by the stairs because his school used to be a court in the past that executed criminals. When he returns home and has dinner with Lynn, she accuses him of stealing his pendant. Cole can't tell her the real issue, so he remains silent while simultaneously refusing to take the blame. This maddens Lynn, so she forces him to leave without eating dinner. That night, Cole sees a dead kid with his head shot from the back entering his room. This forces him to apologize to Lynn and sleep in her room. Lynn starts crying and hugging him when she senses how scared he is. On the other hand, Anna sees her friends and finally accepts the guy she was avoiding earlier. Malcolm secretly watches them and breaks the store's glass in anger before walking away from there. Doc is acting like he's the victim here. When he sees Cole the next time, he switches roles and makes him his therapist because he's the stereotypical lead character who needs to vent out his feelings. He also decides to cut Cole loose and focus on his marriage just when Cole had started to trust him. Doc is displaying toxic traits worse than Andrew Tate. Cole is sensible enough to figure out that Malcolm doesn't believe in his secret like the other doctor, so he decides to let go of him. Cole is definitely going to have trust issues now. Malcolm returns home, and instead of fixing his marriage like he claimed earlier, he goes to his basement and takes out Vincent's recordings from the time he was treating him because he thinks Cole has the same disorder as him. He hears a Spanish phrase in the recordings, which translates to, "I don't want to die." Malcolm has some sort of revelation and visits Cole in church because Cole spends his time there to prevent the dead people from bothering them. Malcolm asks him what the dead people want from him. Cole reveals that they don't realize they're dead and keep talking about the last problem they were stuck in. Malcolm believes that the dead people Cole is seeing are stuck on Earth due to their unfinished businesses, so Cole should help them in order to rid them of this world. Cole is clearly more intelligent for fearing the spirits and believing that they can be harmful. Malcolm returns home after their weird session and spots Anna's new lover walking out of his house. On the contrary, Cole is forced out of his tent by the spirits who mess with his mother during her sleep. He places his hand on her forehead and calms her. When he returns to his room, he gets the chills and senses the presence of a ghost. He becomes horrified and crawls inside his tent. The tent tears up and a dead girl enters it. She vomits bile, so he gets out of the tent. He recalls Malcolm's words and communicates with her. Scenes cut directly to Cole taking Malcolm to that dead girl's funeral, whom he communicated with last night. Cole goes upstairs to the dead girl's room with Malcolm and asks him to stay outside. The room gives off a vibe as it is loaded with creepy dolls. Suddenly, the dead girl grabs his ankle from under the bed. Cole looks under the bed where she hands him a box. Cole delivers the box to her father, in which the dead girl has left him a tape, proving that her stepmother poisoned her. Imagine finding out your kid was poisoned via a VHS tape. It's like Dateline meets Paranormal Activity. This exposure brings Cole a sense of peace, which takes away all of his fear. He learns to not get scared by the dead people and finally takes a part in the school's play. Cole's basically Dr. Phil's new replacement now, only with less mustache. Cole acts like the adult again and advises Malcolm to communicate his problems with Anna during her sleep if he's scared to address them to her face. Malcolm smiles hearing this and leaves. Lynn arrives shortly after and gives him a ride back home. On their way, they get stuck in traffic due to a car accident. Here, Cole finally musters the courage to tell his mother that he sees the dead. To prove his claim, he tells her that the person who's died in the accident is standing next to his window, but Lynn obviously doesn't believe him. Cole also proves himself by confessing that he was beaten up by the spirits in their house and got the bruises. Lynn breaks into tears and assumes Cole's condition is worsening. Cole isn't a quitter either, so he just casually drops a bomb that his dead great-grandma is a jewelry thief who stole Lynn's pendant earlier. Family reunions must be wild in this household. Lynn starts to tremble as Cole tells her that her grandmother's answer was a yes when she asked her something on her grave. Lynn finally admits that her son has supernatural powers and states that she asked her grandmother if she will continue to love her in the afterlife. Now, knowing she said yes, Lynn gets emotional and hugs Cole tightly. At night, Malcolm returns home to his wife and confesses how much he misses her. She asks him why he left her, which he doesn't understand. He suddenly watches his wedding ring roll over the floor from under the couch, whereas Anna's wedding ring is still on her finger. Seeing his ring on the floor, he recalls what Cole had told him about the dead people not knowing they're dead. He starts panicking while connecting the dots and going back to the day Vincent shot him in his bedroom. The plot takes a sharp turn when Malcolm finally realizes he didn't survive after Vincent shot him, and that he has been dead ever since. This explains why Anna is depressed and having trouble moving on to another guy. In the present, he tells Anna in her sleep that he loves her and finally prepares to leave this world now that he's helped Cole find his purpose. Here, the film ends. Thanks for watching. Please don't forget to like and subscribe for more awesome recaps.